Oh, boy.
All right, we're going to show you how to make this today. So right here is our star, and maybe many of you have already done this, but I love this.
You break it down and it's so fun.
I do, and I'm actually going to make a pillow out of this, and I'm going to have matching pillows.
Oh, aren't you fancy?
I am fancy. Does that not go back any further? Let's see if we can get this a little bit better. That is in the way. Okay, I'm going to toss that out of the way for sure. All right, and here is what I'm going to set up.
Nice.
I know we have this all broken down. It's going to be so easy to do. So the first thing I want to do, if you'll notice,
easy peasy lemon squeezy.
it is. Oh, look at you. All right, I'm going to cut out all of my blocks. Now these are 4.5-inch blocks.
Each one?
Each one is a 4.5-inch block. But because I'm making half square triangles right here, they're going to be a little larger because I want to cut them so that I can just cut them down to 4.5 inches. So I've actually cut them out at 5. And there I have it. I have a white one and I have a red one.
So hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
So all of these outer blocks are 5 inches.
No, just these. Just the ones I'm going to do half square triangles in.
Okay. Any of the star points?
The star points are going to be 5 inches. So I have a 5-inch white, a 5-inch red, a 5-inch red, a 5-inch white. So I'm going to put those together, and I've already done some of them.
Okay.
Right here. I've already pre-made these because I'm just going to show you how to make one.
So are you marking that line and then cutting on either side?
Are you just going to jump
Sorry,
ahead of me?
sorry.
No, stay here. Stay here. She knows exactly where we're going with this.
No.
Yes, you do. All right, so on the white pieces, I'm going to mark from corner to corner.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a pin in there so that it doesn't shift on me.
Okay.
All right.
That's all that pin is
why
for.
do you think I did corner to corner, Kyle?
Get a straight line.
I'm going to get a straight line. If you have
you're
a
going to
machine,
sew a straight line.
I am going to sew a straight line. If you have a machine that has the guide beam on it, this is a good time to use it.
Can't live without it. Oh,
all right.
Sorry, you got another one.
All right. I am not going to sew on the line, though. If I sewed on the line, I'd have 2 pieces of fabric, and it would just be floppy around, and it wouldn't go anywhere. I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch on this side and a 1/4 inch on that side. So this right here, which is why I cut it at 5 inches, is going to give me 2 half square triangles.
Awesome.
Are you with me?
I am.
I have my right sides together.
Oh, good job.
I have my line drawn on my white one. I couldn't really see it too well if it were on my dark one. And I did it in pencil. I don't care what it's in.
No.
It doesn't even matter
because you're going to cut it on that line.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on.
Are you going to come over?
I am, maybe, if I don't drop it.
Okay.
Can they see?
Yeah, I think they can. Come on over just a little bit more. All right, so I have it set up in a 1/4 inch stitch. It's going to be a 1/4 inch from the side of my foot. So I'm going to have my foot line up with the pencil mark. And I'm going to sew with that line along the side of my foot. And that will make, and I'm not, this is not in a darker thread because it would show. And I know you can't really see it, but there's my stitching right there next to the line.
How about on the red side?
It doesn't really show either.
Oh.
And you can't see the line on that side. All right, so now once I stitched, I sent it in this way. I had my foot line up with the line. I sewed on that side. So now I want to sew on this side. So I'm going to turn it around like this.
So that is still on the edge of your
So it is still, I don't have to move my needle or anything.
Sometimes I really have to think about that.
Yeah. And now that line is going to mark or right against my foot.
And you could chain piece these, right?
Yes, I could.
Look at that big word I said.
Chain?
Chain piecing.
Oh, chain, that's 2 words.
Well, look at that group of words.
All right, so come back here. Now I have stitching down both sides of my line. Okay. This is how I'm going to create my half square triangles. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut on the line. So I'm going to cut on the line. And once I do that,
there's your 1/4 inch seams.
I'm going to plug in the iron. So now I've cut on the line. When I open it up, look what I have.
Nice.
But now this isn't the right measurement.
Oh, it's still too big?
It is too big.
You'd rather have it big than small.
I would definitely have. You
Been there, done that.
You can't do the small one. And now I could just press this out and then use my squaring ruler to square it. I don't want to do that. Let me show you an easier way. I am going to use my quilt in a day ruler.
Love this.
I love the quilt in a day ruler. And you can see there are even measurements over here and half-inch measurements over here. Now remember my squares over there, what I told you they were? They are 4.5. I want to cut these to 4.5-inch squares.
I don't understand how you're doing that.
All right,
okay.
so right.
Is that on the seam line? No?
You are so smart. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this measurement right here and place it right on my seam line. Not on the edge of the fabric, but I'm going to put it right on my seam. And now I'm not worrying too much about where that point is. As long as I have that on my seam line, as long as I cut something off of every edge.
How little do you have to take off?
Very little.
This is so wonderful that you have a rotating mat.
Yeah,
because if you start moving that.
I don't want to move it. I want to keep that right. Where I want to cut it, or where I want to line it up, is on the 4.5-inch right there. It is on the seam.
Because then your whole square will be 4.5 inches.
It will be exactly 4.5 inches.
Nice.
And I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to really hold that down nice and tight. Cut that one off, and I can turn it.
Nice.
And when I take this out, this is exactly 4.5 inches.
Well.
Will you iron that?
Yes, I
Press
will.
Press it to the red.
I'm going. Dark side.
Yep, to the dark side. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to line my 4.5 up. And see, you won't have to, if you're worried about having your point in the right spot, you don't have to worry about that. Because when you finish it, that's where your point is going to be. It doesn't have to, you don't have to worry about this line right here. Sorry. No, you're good.
You're cutting off so little.
Very little.
But it makes a big difference.
But you need to cut.
You're not guessing.
You need to cut something off of each side. So I don't want to line it up with the side.
Because then it wouldn't be exact.
It wouldn't.
All right. You can call me Vanna.
Vanna. Does that make me Pat, though? I don't want to be Pat.
Sorry.
All right, now what I want to do, and the cool thing about it is this pattern will walk you through every single thing you need to do. So you can see right there, it's telling you how to make the half square triangles, and over here it's going to tell you how to lay it out. So what I've done, thank you, Vanna.
You're welcome.
I'm going to set that aside again. Barb, not Pat.
Nope.
Not Pat.
Okay, so these are what size?
These are all 4.5-inch squares.
Okay.
And now I'm going to lay it out. I think I'll put my anchor ones in there.
Okay.
Just so I can kind of get my bearings here.
Okay. Those are 4 corners?
Yep, those are my 4 corners. And this has a little design on it, and I want it to go the same direction. Sometimes,
and you could make them all the same color or all 4 different.
You could. You can make it one piece. You don't even have to piece it if you don't want to. And this is how I'm going to lay it out. But one thing I want to watch is that I put the same reds in the same star point.
Oh, yeah. So you've done 2 different reds.
I have 2 different reds. I didn't want them all to be the same. And you'll notice I have my little dog ears there. They don't bother me.
They don't.
Do they bother you?
Nope.
If they bother you, you can cut them off.
Yeah, you can.
But I don't really care. I have to look at my picture. I have to think in my head, now where's that one going to go? And then I want to make sure that I don't put 2 stars together that are the same. Like I wouldn't put this one up here like this.
There you go.
I wouldn't put these 2 the same print over there. I want them to be varied.
But okay, but here's my thing. How come you didn't make those 2 the same, these 2 the same?
Because this is the star. That's the star point. These are not the star point.
Oh, okay. I get it.
No, you don't. You are so funny.
I'm a riot.
You are. I have to look carefully.
Nope.
I got to do it this way.
Yep.
Do you remember that day we were laying out Chris's thing on the floor?
Oh my gosh. Her quilt? Yeah.
Yeah, we were laying her
Oof.
quilt on the floor and thinking, now, how do we do this? How do we do that? And look at that.
Cool.
There you go.
Cool. And that's all you're going
That
to do.
is all I have to do.
So now when you start to sew it, how are you going to sew that? How do you begin?
I'm going to take one row at a time.
Okay.
And then I'm going to sew
You don't
this
like
row.
sew the middle and
No.
then, okay.
You would think that you could just sew the middle
Yeah.
together, but no. I'm going to sew this row together, then I'm going to sew this row together, and I'm not going to get confused myself by doing this piece and that piece, and I'm going to do one whole row.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you do it, but that's what I do.
That's how I do it. When you pick them up, how do you remember how you did them?
I usually pick them up. Well, I usually pick them up like this. And then I go to my machine and I start sewing.
See,
sew
I'm
this
left-handed, so I start the other way.
I sew that one together, and then I sew this one to it, and I sew this one to that. And sometimes I'll even like double check myself and say, okay, let me look at this again.
Didn't we say measure twice, cut once?
Seam ripper time. And then you're going to sew this one together, and then I would, when I was pressing them, so when I've got this one, I'll press that one to the left. Then I'll press that one to the right, and I'll press this one to the left, and that one to the right.
Okay.
That way I can nest my seams together.
Oh, tell us about nesting.
I love nesting. I think nesting is the most wonderful thing.
Oh
I
my
still
gosh.
pin.
Yeah.
I still put a pin in that nest, but I had that nested together. So nesting would be like, well, let me see. I don't have a piece here that I can do.
We're going to pretend on this.
Yeah, we are going to pretend.
This isn't how you're going to do it.
Okay, now this will work.
Will it?
Okay, this one is ironed that way. This one is ironed this way. So a nesting, a nesting would be that you are nesting these two together, so you can kind of pull them together, and they're going to kind of catch on that little lip. You can tell when they're
right together, snug.
And this one's going that way, that one's going this way, which makes that little lump right here come together. I'm not explaining that very well.
They're spooning.
They're spooning together. And when they're in there, then I would put one little pin right there to sew over it.
Nice.
And that's how I would nest them. I love nesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch this. I can't get it back together right. It doesn't matter because I'm going to have to pick it up in a minute anyway.
Nope. Yep.
Okay, there we go.
I'm a critic all the way back here.
Oh, you keep going. And then once I sew all those together, I'm going to sew the rows together. And because they're nested, they're going to sew together nicely. And then the top is done, and it's going to look just like this.
Exactly.
Exactly like that.
That is I think that's a great idea to make it just a pillow.
I'm going to have two pillows. One on each side of the couch.
What size does it finish out at?
I don't know.
Oh.
I really don't. I didn't check that out. This is going to be 16 and a half, so this would be a 16-inch pillow.
Nice.
So I can either stuff it, or I don't know if I think they make 16-inch pillows.
I'll make it fit.
Yeah, you'll shove it in there. An 18-inch pillow would work nicely in
this.
Yes,
it would.
All right.